After onboarding the boat, you're met with an incredible sight, the capital city of Fritho, Cowhigh City. You're amazed by how big this place is compared to the other cities you've been in before, but you're snapped out of your daze as someone taps you on the shoulder. Peter.
You look shocked, player. A lot of people from the south react that way when they first see this place with their own eyes, but I guess I'm used to it since I grew up here. Hey, I can finally fulfill my promise to you. Let's go and meet Ashley.
Before you're able to argue, Peter drags you across the city, before stopping at the front doors of a giant building in the middle of town which bears the logo of Cyber Labs.
She's in here, come on!
The automatic doors open, and you're met by a reception lobby, where many scientists are talking to each other. Currently, the receptionist seems to be having a heated discussion with an employee, and you overhear their conversation.
FA5, I asked for 3 sugars, not 2. Next time, get my coffee order right. I need my daily dose of caffeine so I can be productive at work.
The scientist leaves, still annoyed, before you and Peter make your way towards the desk.
Oh, Peter, how have you been? Are you having fun on your journey?
Yeah, I am. And I want you to meet one of my new friends. This here is Player.
She smiles at the prospect of her surrogate nephew making new friends, but her face falls flat as she realizes something.
Wait, did you say Player? That's definitely your name?
I still don't know why people keep calling me that. My name is
You cut yourself off again as you hold your head in pain, before looking back at Ashley, and something seems to be troubling her as she looks at you and Peter.
It's probably nothing. You guys should get some rest before the big day tomorrow. I can lend you a room here for the night, if you'd like.
Oh, that would be great. Thanks a lot. See, Player, I told you Ashley's great.
He grins, but you're a little aloof as you think about the look she had on her face when she heard your name. But you're deterred as Peter grabs the room key that Ashley hands him, and he drags you into the room. The room you enter is filled with all sorts of Cyberlabs memorabilia. Some toys made by a young child are scattered around the floor, and the TV in the corner of the room has a Super Nintendo plugged into it, and is open to some sort of video game.
So what do you think? This is my room.
It's a little messy.
Well, of course it is. A working mind like mine can't function properly in an empty room.
You smile in response, but you can't help but feel a little on edge from the omnipresent reminder that this room is part of Cyberlabs. As well as that, you're concerned about the fact that most of the toys look very old and worn, as if they've been around for years. You shake off the thought as you're glad that Peter feels at home here before he passes you the key to your own room and you leave. And as you drift off to sleep, you have a dream.
You have to stop being so selfish. It seems I have to do everything myself around here.
I've told you many times already that I don't care. Our unveiling ceremony is tomorrow, and we mustn't delay.
Is that all you care about anymore? The company? You've changed. You're not the man I fell in love with. I'm leaving.
And as the door slams, you wake up in shock. You're confused as you remember hearing someone who sounded like your mother. But your train of thought is interrupted by a knock at the door.
Player, I'm leaving without you, okay? My dad wants me to be there early to help him with preparations. I'll see you there, okay?
Okay.
You leave your room, but before you're able to exit the building, you're stopped by Ashley.
Wait, Player. We should go up there together, in the cable car. How about it?
You're a little confused by the sudden gesture, but you agree as she leads you towards the cable car station.
The ceremony is happening atop Mount Kit now. You have to take the cable car to get up there. Come on, let's hurry.
The two of you jump in the cable car together. The atmosphere is a little awkward, and also a little tense as you're reminded of a similar situation to this. But you're snapped out of your daze as Ashley decides to speak up.
You know, I like working for Wyatt. No, I love working for him. It's just, ever since his wife left him, he's never been satisfied. He wants to make sure that he never makes a mistake like that again.
Why did she leave?
I don't know. All I know is that he abandoned Peter and left me to be the mother figure in his life.
You know, he looks up to you a lot.
Yeah, I know. He could have had so much more if it wasn't for Wyatt being selfish. But he's learned from his past mistakes. Peter adores him. And now Wyatt is the CEO of the leading tech company in this region. It must be pretty great to be him.
She clears her throat as she blushes slightly before the cable car stops at your destination.
Oh, seems we are here. Come on, Player. You're gonna love this.
You follow her out the cable car, and you're met by the amazing view of the city from above, as well as a gathering of people standing in front of a podium, where a familiar-looking man stands beside Ashley and Peter. You spot Nina in the crowd, and you make your way over to her.
Hey Nina, what's going on? Shh, you're going to tell us soon.
The crowd goes quiet as the man, who you assume to be Wyatt, clears his throat and taps the microphone on his headset. The sound reverberates around the arena before he speaks up.
Welcome, one and all, to the annual Cyber Lab Showcase, where we unveil our new inventions to the public atop our beautiful Mount Kipna. Now, we have a lot in store for you today. As you know, many Pokemon all over Fritho undergo something called evolution. Once a Pokemon reaches a high enough bond with its trainer, it will change shape and become a stronger version of itself. This phenomenon is still being researched to this day, but today I'd like to unveil this, the Cyber Disc. I have developed this Cyber Disc to enable certain Pokemon to undergo never-before-seen evolutions, to become a stronger and more refined version of themselves. For example, take this Eevee, who is known for its unique DNA structure. So far, 3 evolutions have been discovered: Vaporeon, Jolteon, and Flareon. But now, there is a 4th with the help of the Cyber Disc. This here is the brand new Scibion, engineered by us at Cyber Labs to be the perfect companion to any fledgling trainer. And watch this! Scibion is able to gather data, which can be translated on this screen to reveal... As you can see, Scibion can project its thoughts onto any nearby device, so it's a handy tool for those trainers out there who have always wanted to know what their Pokemon are thinking. Oh, and it seems Scibion has already taken quite the shining to me. Now, you'll be glad to know that the Cyber Disc is currently being developed to work on other Pokemon. Our current test subjects are Zangoose and Seviper. But the current version is a gift to my son, Peter.
Huh? Me?
You remember the Philibub that I caught for you, Peter? Now, with the power of this Cyber Disc, it can evolve too.
Really?
Yes, really. Why don't you demonstrate for our friends here?
I don't know. I kinda like Philibub the way it is.
Ah, come on, Peter. You wouldn't want to upset our guests today, would you? Everyone, give a warm welcome to our new friend, Lightnabub. His evolved form has heightened abilities and strengths, as well as serving as his trainer's sole protector. The perfect companion for my perfect son.
So, yeah, we made a statue to commemorate the occasion. If you want to send us pictures, then email them to us. That's all.
The crowd seems confused by the abrupt ending to the presentation before Ashley pulls the covering off the statue, revealing it to be a statue of Fritho's hero, Laurie Coupe. The crowd applauds once more and the screen fades to black. After the scene fades back, the crowd has dispersed, leaving only you, Peter, and Nina to observe the new statue.
Wait a second. Why is she holding a friend ball? Pokeballs didn't exist back in her time.
And her clothes seem overly stylized. Pattern on our clothing is supposed to be circles, not triangles.
The two look towards each other, realizing that they're both overanalyzing things, and they giggle a little. Before you leave, you're able to inspect the statue on your own, where you find a plaque at the base of the statue. Laurie Coupe, the hero of the Fritho region. Statue erected by Cyber Labs, January 31st, 1997.
Hey, wait up, player. You should go get one of those Cyber Disc things from Ashley.
Oh, I want one too!
The scene fades out and fades back to the three of you walking into Cyber Labs HQ once more, but as you reach the reception desk, you're met by a somewhat familiar face, Scientist KA1. But he seems a little different, as his visor covers his face.
KA1? What are you doing here? And where's Ashley?
FA5 is busy with her work. I'm in charge until she returns.
Alright. Can we get our hands on one of those Cyber Disc things?
Of course you can.
The three of you are a little confused about his demeanor as he passes the three of you a Cyber Disc each before waving you goodbye.
Well, that was definitely not weird at all. Is he usually like that, Peter?
No. Maybe he's just had a long day at work today. He'll probably be okay tomorrow.
Nina agrees with this as the two of them leave, but you look back towards Cyberlab's HQ as you remember the visor covering his face. And you touch your own face in hesitance, as if you yourself were wearing a visor. But before you pretend to take the imaginary visor off, you snap back to reality.
No, I can't give up now. I have to find out more about what exactly that visor does.
You smile, determined, before you challenge the gym in this city, which is run by Wyatt himself. The gym puzzle stars a VR maze which you have to make your way around before you fight Wyatt, who on his team uses a Vicobra, a Metang, his newly evolved Scibion, and his signature Skarmory. After he gifts you with the Cyber Badge, you'll make your way towards your next destination, Makuna City. But before you're able to enter the gym here, you overhear some chatter from some nearby cyber scientists who seem to be staring at you a lot.
Hey sis, doesn't that kid over there look weirdly similar to Wyatt?
Yeah, you're right, and he looks a lot like Peter too. I heard that he's the son of Professor Palm, but he barely looks anything like him.
What were you saying about my dad?
Ah, it was nothing, player. Please ignore us.
Man, even his glare is like Wyatt's.
The two scientists run off towards Cowhigh City again, and you take a deep breath to calm yourself from the sudden outburst. Before you frown.
They're right, though. I guess I really don't look much like my dad.
You suddenly remember the strange dream you had last night.
I've told you many times already that I don't care.
And you realize that the other voice you heard was Wyatt's. You're even more confused about what that dream meant now, but you shake off the thought as your emotional turmoil begins to make you feel sick.
Hey, I wonder if Imogen or April are around here somewhere. They're supposed to be having a date or something here, right? I should go find them.
To get your mind off of things, you decide to take a walk down the riverside, taking in the relaxing atmosphere as you watch some Phytunu and Zudua swim around in the clear water. Eventually the trail ends, and you spot a pavilion at the end where April is leaning against one of the banisters. You wave at her, and she perks up for a second before frowning again. Oh, hey player, sorry, I thought you were Imogen. I'm still waiting for her to show up. Mind keeping me company?
Sure. I need to get my mind off some things anyway.
So, how's Nina been? Are you two still friends?
Yeah, she's okay. I think that her Psyduck is gonna evolve soon, though.
That's good. I'm proud to know that she's getting stronger because you're her rival.
Well, Peter is her rival, too. Kinda.
The two of you sit in silence for a few seconds before you say something weird to April.
Do you ever think about this world? And how any minute it could all just end?
Huh? I don't know much about the world ending. Why do you ask, player?
What if all of this is just fake? What if we're just chess pieces and the world is one big chessboard? What if everything that's happening right now is just one big game?
Then that would mean that there has to be a player, right? For this world to exist, I mean.
Yeah, I guess so. Sorry for suddenly dropping that on you.
Well, I'm sure that even if this is all one big game, the player is going to give us a happy ending, right?
Yeah, I will. I mean, they will. If they're even real, that is.
You chuckle nervously, slightly regretting bringing that conversation topic up in the first place, before you decide to head back towards the gym in the city, whose gym leader has now conveniently returned. After completing his gym puzzle where you have to play a mini-game where you clean and resurrect a fossil Pokemon, you challenge the gym leader Ethan, who on his team uses a Buckshiryu, a Hippowdon, an Excadrill, an Anki-Tread, and his signature Choco Ball. After defeating him, he gives you your 6th gym badge, the Fossil Badge, before you bid him goodbye, but not before he gives you the Pokemon that you were able to revive as part of his gym challenge. After gaining a new prehistoric member to your team, you travel to the next city, Callist City. There seems to be a group of people gathered around something in the center of town, so you go over to see what they're all looking at before being surprised. It's a statue of Larry Coupe that looks suspiciously identical to the one that Cyber Labs unveiled earlier. But you notice that this statue has the details that Nina and Peter mentioned were missing. But there's something off about this one, as you notice a visor on the statue's face, which looks like the visor you've seen cyber scientists wearing. But as you finish looking at the strange statue, someone bumps into you.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
She gathers herself before looking up at you and realizing something.
Wait a second. Are you player?
Yes?
Oh, well, could you help me out with something?
Am I allowed to say no?
I haven't even told you what I need help with yet. Anyway, there's been reports of a strange individual who climbed up Mount Ratos without proper clearance. I would go and check it out myself,
but I'm already juggling so much work for the boss. You don't mind, do you?
Okay. I guess I'll go check it out.
Thanks! I'll give you the special permit which will allow you to go up there.
She gives you a permit before heading towards the nearby police station. You follow her instructions and begin the climb up the mountain, where you encounter many rare or strange Pokemon before reaching the summit, where you notice a cyber scientist pacing around in circles.
Assistant FT7 here. I'm up on Mount Rados right now. The energy signature here seems to display recent psychic activity. I will update you once I learn... I'm sorry, sir. I will be just a moment. Are you lost, player? Allow me to assist you back down the mountain.
What are you doing up here? And who are you just talking to?
Children are so annoying with their persistent questioning. You saw nothing here, understand?
Well, it's my word against yours. I'm sure Wyatt wouldn't be too happy if he heard about this.
Shut up! I'll teach you what happens to people who disrespect our leader.
She glares and you're thrown into a Pokemon battle against her, where she uses a Rotom and a Behem, and you're easily able to strike her down with the combined efforts of your team. She seems even more pissed off than before, but the expression suddenly fades into a sick smile as she starts to laugh.
You may have beaten me, but there will be no stopping what has already begun. Cyber Labs will bring peace to Fritho. No, to the entire world. All will be revealed in due time.
She runs off, dropping the visor as she leaves. You pick up the strange device and inspect it slightly, seeing that the display has now switched off. You pocket it for later, but as you move it, you notice something else lying on the ground. A strange white rock, which gives off a strange feeling. You decide to pick that up too, before heading back towards the police station.
Player! You were fast! Is everything okay? What happened?
No, there was a Cyber Lab scientist up there who said something about psychic activity. Then she dropped this when she left.
A pair of weird sunglasses. These look like what that statue outside is wearing.
She starts to put the visor on and you try to stop her, but it's too late, as she places it on her face and the display switches on again. She clicks a few buttons on the side of it as the display switches colors as she looks at all the different functions.
Oh hey! This is cool! This thing displays all sorts of information. For some reason, there's some information on Villainous here. Weird.
Villainous? What's that?
It's not a what. It's a who. Many years ago, back when the Fritho region was first discovered, there was a Pokemon known as Villainous, who was determined to bring destruction to the region. But, with the help of Toharwal, the settlers were able to fend off Villainous and take this land for their own, creating our beautiful region. Legend says that Villainous is still out there, waiting for its revenge. But that's only an old fairy tale.
Then what did the files on it say?
It was to do with the Battle Bond ability that Toharwal was rumored to have. And plans to give Villainous that same ability. The files called it Synergy Burst.
Hey, can I keep this? I think I know someone who could tell me more about the data on here.
Sure, go ahead.
You wave for thank you and goodbye before you leave this town and travel towards the next one, Karaka Town. But as you walk into this town, you notice someone down at the beach.
Oh, hey! Nina, over here!
You run towards your friend Nina and the two of you hug as you finally see each other again for the first time in a while.
Hey player, did you miss me?
I thought that we were rivals, not friends. Rivals don't hug each other hello when they see each other.
Oh my Toharwal, you're right.
She pushes you off of her and brings out a Pokeball.
We're supposed to fight each other.
You kind of regret reminding her of the whole rival versus friend thing, but you oblige as you accept the battle request. On Nina's team, she uses Golduck, the final form of the starter strong against yours, Provotion Yanmega, Plantry, and a Medicham. After defeating her, she grins.
Man, I'm so glad that you're my rival. It just makes me even more excited to fight you. You're the best, Basil.
Wait, what?
Did I say something wrong, player?
No, you said nothing wrong, Nina. It's just...
You look away, conflicted over what she just said, before she speaks up again.
Oh, by the way, player, you should come and see this.
She leads you towards the beach and draws your attention to something carved into the side of one of the cliffs next to a waterfall.
What do you think it means?
I think this is depicting the fight between the settlers and the legendary Villainous.
Do you think so? There's something off about this carving, don't you think?
You take a closer look at it and she explains.
Villainous looks scared. I thought it was supposed to be this terrible monster. But this drawing is making it look like the settlers are the bad guys, and... Where's Lori Coupe?
The ground suddenly shakes as Nina finishes her sentence as the waterfall suddenly stops flowing, revealing...
Whoa, there's a cave back here! Come on, player, let's go check it out!
Nina clambers into the cave opening, and you reluctantly follow her in. The cave is lit up by many Muralol and Flambat, and there seems to be some writing on the walls as you walk through.
What does that writing say?
It's unknown runes. Let me try and read them. Our defender, Venalis, tried to protect the Fritho region from invaders, but to no avail. He grew berserk and ended up surrendering to the higher powers. There is no hope left for us anymore. Player, what does this mean?
The two of you finish your walk as you're met with a dead end, where on the wall is more runes.
It looks like... instructions? The prophecy states that whenever disaster strikes, our protector, Venalis, will travel with the hero to stop the calamity. Player, these runes... They're making it sound like Venalis was the one who protected the region. But I thought that Tohoa was the one that the legends talked about. This is all so confusing. It says nothing about Tohoa here. And nothing about Lori either. What does this mean?
You look at Nina hesitantly before you notice something below the writing on the wall. A pedestal, which has an indentation where it looks like something could be placed. You suddenly remember the strange white rock that you found at the top of Mount Ratos, and it's a perfect fit. The room suddenly shakes again before it stops. You and Nina look back at the pedestal to see that the white rock has now become infused with electrical energy of some kind, and now looks somewhat like a scale, as well as the writing on the wall seeming different.
If you are the chosen one, then you should know what to do with this once the time comes. Venalis and Tohoa were never supposed to be enemies. You must reunite them and save the region from disaster. So, what is this? Is it one of Venalis' scales?
Nina goes to pick it up, but is zapped by the energy surrounding it. She holds her hand in pain before she looks towards you. You step up to the pedestal and are easily able to pick up the scale and pocket it.
So, I guess I'm supposed to save the region or something now? But I have no idea what those runes were talking about. But I guess that I'll find out soon enough. So, cyber labs are evil, right, Nina?
I don't know. They seem normal enough for a tech company. Unless you think there's something wrong with them.
No, I have a hunch. But we'll just have to wait and see.
You're really weird sometimes, Blair. Anyway, let's get out of this cave.
I don't know how many times I have to tell you my name is Ugh!
You're cut off as you feel a small shock on your wrist and you hold it in pain, before following Nina outside. After that very strange experience, you decide to challenge the gym here, where the puzzle involves you having to skate around on an ice rink to avoid obstacles and trainers. Eventually, you come face to face with the gym leader, Natalie, who on her team uses a Lapras, a Frostmoth, a Frozorchid, a Winterwren, and her signature Frozlaz. After defeating her, she gives you your 7th gym badge, the Rink badge, before you head towards your next destination. As you enter Mayoso City, you notice a commotion in the square, but you also notice Peter standing outside the Pokemon Center. You decide to walk up to him first, and you give him a hug like you did with Nina previously. He's a little embarrassed by the sudden gesture before he lets go and smiles weakly.
Oh. Hi, Blair. What's up?
No, I actually have something I want you to look at.
What is it?
You bring out the visor that you found before, and you pass it towards Peter. He seems a little confused as he looks back at you.
A cyber visor? Why do you want me to look at it?
It was doing something weird to the scientist I got it from. While she was wearing it, she was acting really strange. She wasn't as polite as the other scientists I've seen.
You're right. That does sound weird. I get why you wanted me to look at it now.
He puts the visor on, and it turns on again, and he flicks through the different functions it has before frowning.
Everything seems pretty normal. Are you sure it was just the visor that caused her to act that way?
Well, if it helps, the scientist was the one we saw harassing Ashley. FT7.
Then you're right. She was acting strange earlier. She's not usually that cranky. And K1 too. He was acting like he didn't even know who I was. And both of them were wearing the visor on their face when they were acting strange.
Peter is in thought for a few seconds, as slowly his quizzical expression becomes more flat.
Peter? Are you okay?
I've never been happier. I never was able to see how beautiful this invention really is.
Peter, are you...
Back off! I won't let you get in the way of Wyatt's plan for this region. He's going to show everyone the truth and take his place as the...
Peter cuts himself off as suddenly the visor switches off, and Peter faints. You catch him as the visor falls into the ground, and he slowly starts to wake up.
Peter, are you okay?
Ugh, what just happened? I remember being strangely happy, but it felt wrong. What did I just do?
Peter stands up properly as he starts to remember what just happened.
Player, you were right. Something is really wrong with that visor. I don't remember anything that happened after I put that thing on. It must have been hacked by someone to try and ruin my father's reputation. We need to warn everyone.
Peter, I don't think...
You're cut off as Peter drags you towards the commotion in the town square, where you notice a crowd is gathered around a podium similar to the one that was on Mount Kepner. Ashley is standing on it, and she holds her own visor in her hands, displaying it to the crowd.
This is the Cybervisor version 4, which we can display many different pieces of information which assists our scientists in their everyday research. I myself use this handy device to help out with my work, and soon we at Cyberlabs plan to release a version of this device out to the public.
Ashley, stop!
Ashley and the crowd are surprised as Peter hesitantly steps forward.
Ashley, please listen to me. I got my hands on one of those things, and I figured out what it really does. And it's a really bad thing that someone is trying to ruin Father's reputation with.
Ashley looks back at the visor that she's holding and seems conflicted before she forces a smile onto her face.
Peter, what are you talking about? You're embarrassing me in front of the crowd.
I don't care, that visor's bad news. Why can't you see that?
Children have the wildest imaginations, don't they? Me? A liar? Very funny, Peter.
But I'm not lying. It could ruin Cyberlabs forever.
Ashley still seems to be in disbelief, but she looks back at the visor hesitantly, then back at Peter, before she leaves in a hurry.
Ashley, wait!
The scene fades to black and fades back to show that the podium and the crowd have disappeared, leaving you and Peter looking a little nervous.
I'm worried about Ashley. We should go to Cyberlabs HQ and see if she's okay. I don't want the visor to make her act weird, too. You should go ahead, player. I want to figure out exactly what this visor does.
You wave Peter a hesitant goodbye, and you take the ferry from Karaka Town back towards Cowhigh City. As you walk up to the entrance to Cyberlabs, you spot Peter waiting outside.
I've been able to hack the visor you gave me. I found out that it brainwashes people into following orders from Dad, and there's something on here about plans to change Venalis's form and purge the region of its nature, or whatever that means. Player, you believe me, right? I know it sounds crazy, but I really need your support right now.
Maybe this wasn't because of someone trying to ruin your father's reputation.
What do you mean?
When you were under the visor's control, you said something about...
I won't let you get in the way of Wyatt's plan for this region. He's going to show everyone the truth and take his place as the...
And then FT7...
Cyberlabs will bring peace to Fritho. No, to the entire world. All will be revealed in due time.
I think Wyatt was behind this.
What? Don't say that, player. My father would never do something like this.
You keep saying that, but there's always something about Cyberlabs which just seems suspicious to me.
And what's that? So you don't believe me. No one ever does. I don't know if even I believe in myself anymore. But Nina's always believed me. I'll get her help. Player, please. I need your help. I can't do this on my own. Even if you don't believe me, the ones I care about might be in trouble.
You look at him hesitantly, and he looks at you in admiration. You're still a little conflicted, but you find yourself unable to resist his adorable face.
Okay, fine. Let's go find where Ashley is.
Thank you so much, player. You won't regret it.
He drags you inside, and the scene fades to black before it cuts to you and Peter walking through the corridors of Cyberlabs HQ. As you enter his room, he immediately goes over to his computer and types something, but frowns.
That's weird. The visor has a locator on it, but I can't see Ashley anywhere. What if something happened to her?
Oh, nothing bad happened to her. For once in her life, she's perfect. You know, I really should thank you, player. If it wasn't for you carrying that active visor around, then I would have never learned of how useful FN4 could be to Cyberlabs.
Nina, what? What are you talking about?
Your little friend here. I figured out that she must be a descendant of Lori Coupe. Is that correct?
Well, yes, but why are you referring to yourself in the third person?
Oh, you have no idea about people referring to you in the wrong tense. I get it all the time.
Hey, shut up! The narration is great and it's definitely not flawed at all. Anyway, Nina laughs at this.
And you, Peter? You really shouldn't be looking into things that don't concern you.
Peter, I don't think that's Nina anymore.
Then this does concern me. I won't let you control my friend.
And player, I should have gotten rid of you when I had the chance. I knew that no good would come out of her taking you with her. And now you dare to stand in the way of a stranger.
Nina, I mean, whoever you are, leave my friends alone. It isn't right for you to give Cyberlabs such a bad image. Player, go find where Ashley is. I'll deal with Nina.
Alright.
You leave Peter to fight Nina, and you explore Cyberlabs HQ, where you battle your way through the various visors scientists patrolling the halls. You want their teams use a mix of steel and psychic type Pokemon, which I'm just gonna show you on screen instead of boring you with another list of Pokemon that you have to listen to. Anyway, eventually you find a strange door that one of the scientists seems to be interested in.
This is a predicament. How to go about this, though?
You look at what he's looking at and notice that the door is locked with some form of puzzle. The scientist messes around with it for a few seconds before the door opens, and he smiles before leaving to go through it. How convenient! On the other side of the door is a room full of computers. You assume that this is the server room. At the end of the large room, you notice Ashley, and you walk up to her.
Ashley? Peter was really worried about you after you ran off like that earlier.
She doesn't respond. Perhaps she just didn't notice you?
Ashley, are you okay?
I serve Wyatt. I must obey his every command.
But why, Ashley? Why are you so loyal to him in the first place?
My name is Assistant FA5. My mission is to assist Wyatt in his goals. He will bring peace to the Fritho region.
And let me guess, he wants to become the hero spoken of in the legends?
Wyatt will save us all. He will purge humanity of its nature and create a utopia. Nobody will ever hurt again. The world will be perfect.
Oh yeah, so my hunch was right. Wyatt is the villain in this. Nice to know that I was able to predict that. Although now that I think about it, it was pretty obvious.
Shut up! Can you stop trying to break things for 1 second? Ahem. Ashley frowns at this.
Player, you simply misunderstand. Cyberlabs will always be a company dedicated to bettering the lives of everyone. And once we're able to reveal the truth about Horrorwall and Villainous, the entire region will see the good in our actions, even if they don't understand it now.
But do you really believe that yourself, Ashley? What good can come out of controlling people through those visors?
I know Wyatt's intentions are pure. They are perfect. He will make sure that there will be no more fighting. There will be everlasting peace. I am his assistant. I listen to his every word. And I will not allow you to stand in his way.
Ashley readies a Pokeball to fight you, but you're interrupted as you hear someone running into the room. You're met by a cyber scientist who has a familiar-looking Scibion by her side. I made it just in time! The scientist takes off her visor and reveals herself to be April! Player, where's Nina? She hasn't been answering any of my phone calls. And who's this lady?
April? How did you know I was here?
This Scibion here ran up to me in Imogen after we left, and it told us about what was happening here. I don't know who it belongs to, but it seemed scared. Ashley seems deterred as she sees the Scibion, recognizing it.
That's Wyatt's Scibion.
Oh, that makes sense. Hey, wait! I have an idea! We should get Scibion to display its thoughts to Ashley.
You take a step backward as the Scibion walks up to her, and Ashley seems a little hesitant before the Sibion's eyes glow bright blue, and it starts to project its thoughts onto a nearby screen. The image shows.
And?
Wait, you know her?
The
visor's display flickers slightly before turning off. Ashley holds her head in confusion before she takes the visor off as she regains her senses.
I remember. She left all those years ago.
What do you mean?
Ashley Ashley seems hesitant as she looks back towards you. She starts to explain a bit of Wyatt's backstory.
Now this is familiar.
Shut up, just let me narrate. Anyway, a long time ago, Wyatt wasn't so bent on creating a perfect world. Cyberlabs was founded as a peaceful organization, but one day he met a strange man in a cloak who whispered something to him. He told Wyatt the truth about Fritho's past, and how the settlers of Fritho were actually invaders. There was a war between the invaders and the natives which killed so many innocent people. However, as all hope was believed to be lost, Laurie Coupe stopped the fighting, as she was chosen as Tohowal's hero. She locked Venalis and Tohowal away so they could never be used as weapons again. She saved the river region from disaster. However, Wyatt grew bitter at this. He detested how humans had brought the two to fight, and became bent on finding a way to create a utopia with no war. And so, he created the Visor in hopes of brainwashing the region into submission. However, throughout the years, he was corrupted more and more by greed, and decided that he should be the new hero of the river region, and bring about everlasting peace through any means necessary. His wife, however, became disgusted with his actions, and fled with his child, never to be seen again. As the flashback fades back to the present, you raise an eyebrow, confused.
Wait, but I thought his wife left his son Peter with Wyatt. What do you mean she fled with his child?
I've been wanting to tell you ever since we met. I swore to Wyatt that I would never mention it to you or Peter. If I did, then it would be a goodbye to my free will.
What is it? What are you supposed to be hiding?
Wyatt's ex-wife was Anne.
What? Wait, so does that mean Peter's my brother?
Not just brothers.
What?
When Wyatt married Anne, it was because of a publicity stunt. When they had a child, it was because of the publicity stunt. But there's something Wyatt found undesirable.
He had twins.
That's right. He had not one, but 2 sons. During the divorce, Wyatt was persistent to keep one of them, and he settled on Peter.
And the one that Annie took was me.
Player, you still have that strange scale, right?
Yeah? What about it?
Show it to your mother. She'll know what to do with it.
Will you be okay here?
I'm Wyatt's assistant. He needs me.
Right. Good luck.
You exit Cyberlabs, and as you sit on the ferry towards your destination once more, you can't help but be consumed by your own thoughts. Was everything just one big lie? Ashley might have been trying to manipulate you, like Wyatt manipulated her, but you can't help but see the truth in her words, as everything makes too much sense now. You and Peter having the exact same birthday was just the start of this cycle of confusion. You're conflicted over who exactly you are anymore, knowing that the one you called father isn't even your real dad, and that they kept this from you for so long, and you're finally overwhelmed by all these emotions as you break down into tears. You sob into your hands, trembling slightly as the weight of everything finally starts to settle in, before you feel a hand being placed on your back. Hey, are you okay? Why are you upset? Hey, don't cry. It's okay if you feel a little sad. Something bad happened back there, didn't it?
Yeah. My friend Nina got visored by them.
It's still hard to take in that Cyberlabs wasn't so great after all, but hopefully this chaos can end soon.
Yeah. I'm going to stop this. I promise. I've got to achieve my goal as the player after all.
You must be really worried about your friends, huh? Well, I believe that you can do whatever you put your mind to, player.
Thanks a lot. I needed that.
No problem.
Wait! What's your name?
My name's Clover. Here, you can have this. Call me if you ever want to chat again, okay?
Okay. Thanks again.